Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another video. So Epiphone is one of my favorite brands to cover on the channel. In general, I like to highlight gear that gets you a lot out of every dollar, and Epiphone gives you classic, iconic shapes at prices that don't completely destroy the wallet. And what I particularly like about Epiphone is that they don't just re-release the same traditional reissues year on year. They tend to experiment a lot with the classic shapes, right? Like in addition to the 1959 standard reissue, which is an incredible guitar by the way, they've also got the much more progressive Prophecy series. So fangirling aside, this box, which looks absolutely massive in frame, just arrived at my door. And inside is one of their most anticipated modern models of the year. Been really excited about this one. Let's open it up and see what we've got. Oh, holy crap, that's cool. Right, Pringle? She's like, really? Another guitar? I mean, it's an Explorer with a non-recessed Floyd. It makes it easier to change strings. When the string breaks, the whole thing doesn't get f***ed up. So this is the new Brendon Small GhostHorse Explorer. It's in this sick Galacticon burst color. It's got this little spaceship logo on the 12th fret. I've been reliably informed this ship is actually called Icarus, and it's Brendon Small's Galacticon logo. And I really like things like this because for fans, it's a special reference. But even for someone like me who sadly isn't too familiar with Brendon Small's work post the show Metalocalypse, this still looks cool, but it's subtle enough that it doesn't, I don't know, brand the entire guitar. So if you're unfamiliar with who Brendon Small is, you might be more familiar with his work. Remember that show Metalocalypse? That was him. So he's been a driving force when it comes to metal in the pop culture scene. Mini Grovers are always so cute. Oh, this is kind of cool. They've done the Kramer thing where the tools are on the back of the headstock, so you can do truss rod or Floyd adjustments. These frets feel really good too. Nice and big, well polished, very well dressed frets. Well done, Epiphone. I guess this is the Epi light case for Explorers. I haven't seen that before. I've seen a lot of the Les Paul one. This is the first time I'm seeing the Explorer version. And you know what? I really like it. It's lightweight. It's got nice thick padding. I think this one unfortunately got broken in shipping though. Like, these are just bare exposed screws on the other side too. So I guess this thing is supposed to like be here like that, because this is not great. Like once you close it up, the middle block will still protect the guitar. Just when you open it up and these things are out there, that's kind of dangerous. Speaking of things being out there though, your music, or at least it should be. Let's get your music out there, and thanks to DistroKid for sponsoring today's video. So DistroKid has been an amazing partner for the channel. If you somehow haven't heard of DistroKid before, welcome. I hope you enjoy the internet. So DistroKid is an awesome service. I use them myself. They're hands down the best way to start making money off your music by getting it onto all the major platforms. Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify, a bunch of others I'm forgetting about right now. It's super easy to upload tracks with just a few clicks. If it's a cover, they'll even help with the license, which, trust me, licenses can be a complete pain in the butt, which makes this very helpful to artists. And in fact, that's a huge part of why I love DistroKid. They're always actively adding features and improving the service to better serve artists. Case in point, splits. So say you write a song with a band, with a friend, with any other artist. It's a collaboration, which is a beautiful part of making music. And you want to make sure at the end of the day, everyone gets their fair share. Well, DistroKid makes it incredibly simple. Andrew Bain and I used it very recently with our metal cover of the Fox NFL theme. Cautiously optimistic about the Falcons in the upcoming season. The bar was set fairly low last year, but it was super easy to set a 50% split on upload, and you can change that at any time. Just makes collaboration that much easier. Love it. So if you make music, you want to get it out there, turn your hobby into a nice side hustle, or even beyond that, you should definitely be using DistroKid. Pricing starts at just $20 a year for unlimited uploads, and if you use my VIP link in the description, DistroKid will give you a bonus 7% off. They're awesome. Not just the team and the service, but also the support on the channel. They're legit the gold standard for getting your music out there. Speaking of gold standards though, or rather ghost standards, that was so lame. But like, let's get back to the actual guitar because it's awesome. So let's see what we got here. The pots are kind of raised, so push pull. Yep. And I like how they are raised. Makes them easier to pull them up when you want to split the pickups. I believe these are Gibson USA pickups too, burst buckers. If they're not Gibson pickups, I guess I'll just cut that part out of the video. So like proper Gibson pickups in a sub $1,000 Epiphone with a Floyd. 24 frets too, which is super cool. Like this guitar is why I'm such a big fan of Epiphone. You've got the classic Explorer shape, proper headstock and everything, but like a nice modern finish and a Floyd. You know, it's a modern take on a classic shape. I'm all about that. And on the back, kind of like the Prophecy series, you got this little modern cutaway. The neck has that aged gloss finish on it. 12th fret logo again, and the signature. I mean, yeah, man, this thing is awesome. Yeah, Epiphone and Brendon Small have killed it. Let's plug it in, hear what it sounds like in the context of a full produced mix. Then we'll talk more about it with some isolated sound samples and get some final thoughts. Hey, Prinkle? So excited. Let's do this. Alright, so just a few final thoughts. This GhostHorse, it represents Epiphone at their best. It's an example of a guitar that highlights a lot of the factors as to why I and so many others have fallen in love with Epiphone. Classic shape, modern features, and good specs with an accessible price tag. It's a player's guitar, and I'm not like a huge Explorer fan, but this is the first one that I've owned that's really spoken to me. The finish is really cool. It's not a 50s Explorer for sure. It's modern without being overly edgy. Like the gray flame Galacticon burst, it stands out, it's recognizable to fans, while still being classy and attractive even if you're not a fan of Brendon Small and his work. And that's been a theme with Brendon Small's signature models. The Thunder Horse Explorer was awesome. Who doesn't love a Silver Burst Explorer? And the Snow Falcon is still one of my favorite Epiphone signature models to date, and that's coming from someone who thinks V's are super uncomfortable to play. Brendon Small, the man just has great taste when it comes to designing guitars. And I mean that great taste in design not only in terms of visuals, but also in terms of spec and playability. Besides the color, there are a few special aspects that make this a unique addition to the Explorer family. First of all, 24 frets instead of the traditional 22, so you get the full 2-octave range per string. And of course, you're gonna wanna access those extra 2 frets, so it's got a deeper lower horn cutaway compared to a standard Explorer, as well as a carved access neck heel. Matte finish on the entire back of the guitar, including the neck, so it is a very very fast player. The matte finish is terrible with fingerprints, but more importantly, it feels super smooth and quick. So it does have Epiphone's weird D-shaped slim taper profile. I'm still unclear as to why there's that artificial product differentiation between Epiphone and Gibson. Like, Gibson slim tapers are not D-shaped, but while it doesn't make any sense on like an Epiphone Les Paul Custom, on a more modern model like this that isn't an affordable counterpart to any current Gibson model, it works really well. It feels natural on the GhostHorse. Then, along with the simplified one volume, one tone control layout, this has a lot in common with Epiphone's Prophecy Extura. With Gibson burst buckers instead of Fishman Fluence, the GhostHorse is almost like a halfway point in Epiphone's lineup between the Extura and a classic Explorer. Speaking of the burst buckers, it's awesome that Epiphone's included Gibson USA pickups in this guitar rather than Pro buckers. I know that was a big point of contention with the Epiphone Slash collection, and that's $100 more than this model. So between this and the 59 Les Paul Standard, which was another awesome Epiphone guitar, I've really come around to burst buckers and Alnico 2 PAF style pickups in general for high gain. There's like a certain warmth and smoothness to them. Those aren't the first qualities you'd normally associate with high gain tones, but you know what? It sounds really good. You can split them too for cleans and leads, which is a nice bonus, and I like how the knobs are raised slightly for convenience with the push-pull functionality. And of course, one of the best things about the GhostHorse is it comes stock with a Floyd Rose. This is a Korean Floyd 1000 series, so it's solid. It's not one of those cheapo, garbage, licensed ones. Don't know the last time Epiphone put a Floyd on an Explorer, certainly not in recent memory. And definitely not on one this well spec'd or this cool looking. Now, I've got like a love-hate relationship with Floyds. They are a ton of fun. Like, who doesn't enjoy a night out on the town in Dive Bomb City? But personally, usually they're a lot more trouble than they're worth. Like, I think I'm up to like 45 guitars, and this is the only one with a Floyd. But what's cool about the trem on the GhostHorse, though, is that Brendon Smalls made it non-recessed. It's not fully floating, so you can dive bomb all day to your heart's content. You can't pull up, so you can't do the dime squeals, but the trade-off is that it's easier to set up and maintain. If you break a string, it doesn't throw the rest of the guitar out of tune because the trem has a hard stop. It can only go back so far. So, more convenient, still a stupid amount of fun. In terms of overall quality, this is probably one of the best Epiphones I've ever played, and I've played a lot. The fretwork is great, nothing's sharp, nothing's popping out, no major fit or finish issues. The only thing I can really point to, if I'm being nitpicky, is that the locking nut isn't flush with the fingerboard. It's like a bit too narrow, but that doesn't affect playability at all. It just looks a bit ugly. One area I'd like to see Epiphone improve on in the future, though, is that while the fingerboard edges have been rolled slightly, there's still a lot of room to roll them further. That's something that a lot of other recognizable brands in the affordable space are starting to standardize. Your Squier, Schecter, Sterling, LTD, Chapman Solar, they're all starting to do highly rolled fingerboard edges, and it makes a huge difference. It's so comfortable. They feel played in by hand right out of the box, and it's a much higher quality playing experience compared to how affordable guitars felt even 5 years ago. But overall, this GhostHorse is a genuinely impressive guitar, and it's good value for money. You've got the ebony fingerboard, the Grover tuners, the Floyd 1000, the Gibson USA burst buckers. It's one of Epiphone's better spec guitars currently in production at a time when Epiphone is arguably making its best affordable guitars ever. Like, it's a great time to be an Epiphone fan. There was the whole rebirth of the Inspired by Gibson collection, streamlining the core lineup, upgrading the nuts to Graphtec, the tuners to Grover as standard features. They've just released progressive, forward-thinking models in the updated Prophecy series. They've got unique, attention-grabbing limited runs in the Tommy Thayer Electric Blue, or the Jared James Nichols Gold Glory, or Lizzie Hale's Explorer. They've got exciting future releases on the horizon in the Dave Mustaine, the Matt Hafey, even the Kirk Hammett collections. How crazy is that, by the way? Kirk Hammett at ESP and Gibson. And Brendon Small's GhostHorse is a perfect example of what makes Epiphone great. It's a unique, modern reimagining of a classic shape at a price point that's much more accessible to a lot of us. And most importantly, it's just a ton of fun to play. I like it a lot. And that's not something I normally say about Explorers. And that's the end of the video. Of course, these are just my opinions. I'd love to know what you're thinking in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, smash the ever-loving shit out of that like button. No, but actually, that really does help with the algorithm. You can subscribe if you're new around here, or turn on notifications. That way you get notified every time I upload a new video like this one. Massive thanks again to Discord for sponsoring the video, to Epiphone for sending this out for us to check out together, and to lkramer for doing an excellent job with the demo mix. Social media, merch, and Discord server links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. You have been awesome, and I'll see you for the next video.